Well, hello, my Jedi friends. Apparently, I'm live. I am live now. And I decided today that I was just going to do Lunacy live. And why am I doing that? Well, the last few live streams I've gone on and I thought I'll talk about something sensible. And they've just gone lunatic. So this time I'm going to start lunatic and maybe it might end up somewhere sensible. So for that reason, we're going to have a little bit of fun on today's thread. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to talk about something semi-sensible until the lunacy hits the building. The last couple of streams I've had have gone on down a completely mad segue. We were talking about Snatch and Snatch Wars, believe it or not. Well, there's something worth looking up if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, if you're a fan of Snatch and you're a fan of Star Wars, then you'll definitely like Snatch Wars, which have been where the video or the energy's taken me there. So you'll understand that if you ever do have the time to look that up, that could be fun. But in the interim, until any of my Jedi friends enter the building, I'm going to talk about something that's come up for a couple of people lately. In fact, I've just done a Jedi training academy and some really good questions were raised off the back of that. And I asked the question, what do you do that lifts your energy and what do you do that drops your energy the most? What things are you doing that are lifting your energy naturally? And my Jedi friend had to think about it, And it dawned on me that so many empaths get caught in this thing that you do things without even questioning why. You're just probably all things to everything, all things to everyone, and get caught in the building. So we've got the comments started. I have in the studio with Lady Love, fellow lunatic. I see your sports is as big as mine. Well, there you go. You cannot argue with that, can you? Whose is the biggest? Well, could have a competition, couldn't we? Yeah. So speaking of that, Lady Love, whether it's my Schwartz or my energy issues, which one's the biggest? I don't even know. But what we are going to talk, well, what I was talking about, what I am talking about at the moment is that there's certain things that we get drawn into without even questioning them. And let me ask this question. What are you doing that you're doing for everyone else that isn't energizing you? There's a question. I've got Tug, another of my Jedi friends in the building. Hi, Adam. I hope you've had a wonderful day. Well, thank you, Tug. You too. I haven't done very much for today. I've been creating content. I've actually done a little bit of content for my crypto channel today. I've been deep diving into the world of crypto. See, I wear these multiple hats. And fascinates me what's happening there. And Bitcoin's gone up, so a lot of the degens are happy there. But I know that has no relevance on this channel. But that's what I've been doing, just creating content, being my multi-dimensional self. And also the other channel that I started just for fun, Adam Shaw TV. I'm now up to 11 subscribers. No, I think I've got 12 now. I think I've got 12 subscribers. Now, this is an experiment I've done because we've had a few people on the channel saying, oh, I need to start a channel from scratch, but I need 50 subscribers before I'm allowed to go live. So I have just started this channel. I told no one when I started it and I just went live. I just started recording these YouTube shorts saying, look, it's a random bald bloke. Do a baldy a favor and subscribe to the channel, because I need 50 subscribers before they'll let me go live. And I've had 12 absolute legends have popped up onto that and just said, right, let's do it. Let's do it. And that's the vibe of YouTube. As long as you shine your own light, you're not trying to present. Now, I'm someone that's done loads and loads of public speaker training in my time. And I teach people public speaking training. And so many people go and learn public speaking training. And I was the same. And they think they need to be someone else on stage. They think they need to present, to be perfect. And after all these years of training, the thing that I keep coming back to is you just got to be yourself, because everyone else is taken. You have to be authentically yourself, and that doesn't really need any training. That just needs a friend just to pick up the camera when you're not presenting. You're not trying to be your full self for public. You're just authentically being yourself. Is the strongest thing that you can do when you're putting a YouTube channel together. So I've gone in to prove that point, because this channel, well, actually, this channel's been up for what, since 2011. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't even go live, I think, until this year, or maybe last year. Maybe last year I went live a couple of times, but I didn't even use it. I was just throwing random videos on there about anything. There was no sort of consistency. And I think it was round about just over a year ago, I decided I was going to up my game. I was going to release a video every day. And I built the channel from about 800 people. And transparently, 500 of them I bought. They were bots. There was a gig on Fiverr back in the day. You could get 500 subscribers. And I thought it was a good idea. So I got it. And look, 500 instant subscribers. What I didn't realize is I'd shot myself in the foot by doing that. Because what YouTube, what it registers is how many subscribers you got and how active they are all on your channel. So having 500 bots to like the channel actually crippled me for a long time, because YouTube thought, well, he's got 800 subscribers, but there's hardly any interactions on his videos, so it must be shite. It must be a load of shite, that channel that he's on. So that's what I had to go through, folks. My Jedi friends, I had to do these learnings from scratch and find my own way. But then I was recording videos every day. I did every day for about a year to build my channel from what was really 300, but actually said 800, to get to where it is now, which is roughly 2,500. So really, I've got 2,000 real subscribers. And some of them are probably dead because I was on this channel so long or back then. But the point being, I've had to do it the YouTube hard way of releasing regular content. And about 2 months ago, YouTube started stopping people watching my videos and put me on the naughty step. I found that after steady growth for a year, I finally got naughty stepped, and I was actually losing subscribers over a 6-month period or a 6-week period. And that was when I was releasing videos every day. So I thought, right, stop that. And that's when I came across YouTube Live. And here I am. Here I am, my Jedi friends, doing the live stuff. So what I was actually talking about before I distracted myself is that there's certain things in life that will raise your energy. Now, for me, I've worked out that doing lives actually does raise my energy. It doesn't matter what zone I'm in, I get raised energy from going live because it's fun. And unlike my other content creation where I just go on and talking about topics I know loads about and then editing the video, it's not very interactive. It's far more fun to create content on the fly and see where it goes, because you never know where it's going to go. You never know who's going to turn up. So the YouTube Live feature has actually been a big deal for me as far as energy and actually understanding how it works. And that's how I vibe, my Jedi friends. So let's see. Altug says YouTube changed the algorithm. A lot of really good channels are in the brink of closing because no one gets informed about new content. Yeah, I heard this a lot, Altug, and in fairness to you, you've been great at actually giving me live feedback about who's getting my notifications and not. Because most channels don't have people that will give them that level of feedback, that they're not getting informed about new content and things like this. And that's part of the reason why I started doing these impromptu lives where I don't tell anyone. If I'm in the mood, I'll just go with it. And I just go live. Because I figured that YouTube weren't informing anyone about my content when I was telling people I'm going to do a live on this time and date. So I figured I was going to eliminate the stress of that for myself and just do it. So that way I don't have to worry. I mean, for whatever reason, you and in the studio with Lady Love have both found my live today. So something is happening that isn't quite as sinister as it was when I was getting naughty stepped. So I will take 2 people interacting on my thread at the moment. That's always a winner. for me. And it's all practice, isn't it? You never know where it's going to lead. You don't know what it's going to do. And you don't know who's going to turn up either. I mean, what I have found is that after getting no new subscribers for 6 weeks, not a single one, and you don't need to be an expert and you don't need to be sensitive to energy to work out that there's probably something that you've done that's put you on the YouTube naughty step to warrant that. Now, the old me, this is energetically significant, this whole story. The old me would have been really, really upset by that. It'd be like I've been putting new content out and not one new subscriber. You know, it feels like, you know, that something is working against me here. And of course, YouTube have got me. They've got me. There's nothing I can do about it. YouTube don't care. They're making tons of money. They don't care if I'm upset or not. So you just have to deal with it. And then I just decided, well, let's just try these lives. Let's see where these lives lead, and we'll go with it. Now, I'm not saying I've had massive engagement since I started doing the lives, but at least I've had a few new subscribers and a few new people that have found their way to the channel. And not only that, like with today, I thought with the thumbnail and the title, I'm just going to stop trying attempting to be sensible here. Sometimes we just need to go completely left field and see where it leads us. So I quite like left field, and you never know where it all leads to you. You never know what lunatics are going to turn up on this stream when you do stuff like that. So that's where we're at the moment, my Jedi friend. It's where we're at. What we're talking about, and I thought this was quite an interesting insight, and I think it will benefit everybody to think about this. That for people that are highly sensitive or sensitive to energy, or good people, you get drawn into things that can lower your energy without realizing it. Your desire to do good for others, or to fit in, or to be nice, will often mean you agreeing to things that you don't really want to do. And what that will manifest is things like lethargy, low motivation, feeling drained. Or if you take it even further down the line, you'll get diagnosed with something like chronic fatigue or ME. You'll suddenly feel you've got no energy to do everyone. Did it ever dawn on anyone that's probably because you spent way too much of your life surrounded by absolute idiots? People that do not deserve your time, people that just aren't worth it. They just aren't worth it, my Jedi friends. You know, dealing with these people, dealing with the low fibers, dealing with people that you just can't be bothered. Let's face it. And I don't know about you, my Jedi friends, but what I found is from somebody that's come up through the people pleaser ranks in my latter years now, I have a very low tolerance for humanity. I spend a lot of my time with cats these days because I find they're far more energizing than the average human being. In fact, my friend Amanda, who does light language, she's been on a couple of my streams. We've got a great idea for her because she does this light language, and people don't really get what that is. It is incredible stuff. It increases your frequency. It uses certain frequencies to break through your nonsense. But most people don't get what it is. They don't understand it. So I told her that she should do like turn it into like a cat doing like language, have a kitty doing like disco music, holding like light sticks and doing like trance music. So we've come up with the thing of kitty trance. So Amanda's going to put our light language onto cats and get them dancing, and now she's so energized by it. It's so great to see her have so much fun with this concept. That, let's face it, there's loads of human beings giving loads of good advice, but are they actually following it? Are they the real deal? And are they the nice person that they come across behind the scenes afterwards? And from someone that's spent a long time in the personal development industry, I can tell you that a lot of gurus, when you catch them one-on-one, they ain't so enlightening. They ain't so high vibe there, my Jedi friends, which is why I thought, you know what, I could probably do a better job myself. I'll probably do a better job myself because I know what I'm about, and I know the standards I keep, and I know that a lot of people that were making a lot of money weren't living up to the standards of the what they were teaching. That when the lights went down and the curtain closed, it was a completely different vibe at the end of that. So yeah, that's just a little observation. A little observation, my Jedi friends. So back to the energy. Back to energy. So knowing what uplifts you is like a superhero strength for empaths. That knowing the things, the activities, what you can do to raise your vibe at any given moment is where it's at. This is the gold of this presentation, this live stream. You have to know what raises your energy and what drags it down. And it sounds ridiculously simple because it is in concept. That you have to spend more time focusing on doing things that uplift your energy and less time on things that don't. And that might mean upsetting people, which is where the glitch in the matrix happens for a lot of highly sensitive people, for a lot of empaths. You don't want to say no to your mates or your family. You don't want to let them down, but you know that if you don't let them down and you do what they ask you to do, that your energy is just going to plummet. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it, my Jedi friends. There lieth the glitch in the matrix. The glitch in the matrix is where it's at. So learning to say no is like the superpower strength of people that are empathic. It's learning to say no. It's learning to feel good saying no. And you know, I watched this Mental Health England post, and they listed these things, 9 polite ways to say no, and they were such horse shit. Because at least 6 of these things, polite ways to say no, had a but in them. I'd love to, but I'm sorry, but let me tell you what but means in my reality. If anyone uses but in a sentence, it deletes everything that they've just said straight away. It's a horseshit word. It negates everything that came before it. I like you, but you know something not nice is coming. I mean, back in the day, I'm not sexist, but, and you know they're about to say something sexist. I'm not racist, but, and then you know they're about to say something racist. But is a horrible word, and there's nothing nice about it in my reality. So I was actually considering going on the Mental Health UK about their 9 polite ways to say no, and saying here's a much better way. Go fuck yourself. Own the fact that you don't want to do it. Sometimes you have to be comfortable with saying no. It's not your duty to find a polite way to say no. It really isn't. It's your duty to understand what energizes you and what doesn't, to get really comfortable with putting your needs as a priority. Not all the time, maybe, but certain times. There's certain times when you're vibrating lower that you need to work on your own energy. And that's the time you need to be utterly ruthless when people are dragging on you or asking you to do stuff. Because it won't work. It's not sustainable. It canny work, Captain. We do need have the power. We have not got the power, Captain. Right. Come on, Scotty. Give me more power. Yes, if only you were a starship captain, which I suppose you are in many respects. You could be a starseed or something like that. You could be a starseed, my Jedi friends. In fact, there's probably quite a few starseeds that are drawn to this thread because that's the way that I roll. It's the way that I roll. Lots of starseeds about. So here's a message to you starseeds out there. The reason that you're feeling so energetically compromised at the moment is because we are going through a vibrational shift right now. What does that mean, Adam? If we're raising the vibe of the planet, surely I should feel uplifted. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? The problem is that we're in a really dense energy vibration right now in the 3D. Here in the 3D is very dense energy. And in order to move up a vibration, our body needs to be cleared. It needs to be detoxed. So if your body needs detoxing, it means you're going to feel like absolute shit when you're going through this. You're going to feel up, down. You're probably going to be ill. You're probably going to have ailments go with you. You're going to feel low vibe. It's going to feel brutal. You're going to probably start cursing to yourself and everyone else. Why is this happening to me? So these are very frequent things for star seeds to have to wake up to through this transitional period. And part of energy work is training people to have techniques to navigate their way through that. To navigate their way through it, my Jedi friends, that is where it's at. Because it is a time. It is a brutal time of awakening, and not everybody gets it. But more importantly, it can be very lonely. I'm finding this with my candidates in the Jedi Training Academy, that when you do start to wake up and see the roses and see the reality of life, it can be a really lonely and isolating place because most people aren't going to get it. Probably not your family. You're probably the black sheep of the family. And, a lot of your friends, they're just not going to be interested in what you've got to say. They're not going to believe it. They're going to think you've gone a bit weird. Think you've gone to the land of woo-woo and don't know what I'm talking about. They'll be all right. Take them down the pub. I used to get that a lot. Yeah, whatever, Adam. It's your round. I tell him about this enlightened spiritual thing that happened to me. This great advancement in my awareness. Yeah, that's great, Adam. Now get the drinks in. The brush off from your mates. I used to get that quite a lot. So you're probably having to deal with similar stuff when you start waking up, when you start seeing the reality of life, when you start seeing through the BS that is fed to you. It's a very lonely and isolating journey for the average empath. And I use the word average in its way that there's not many empaths, and there's nothing average about being an empath. But you high vibers together, you know what I'm talking about here. You know what I'm talking about, my Jedi friends, because that is the way that we rock and roll. So I suppose to summarize what we've covered here is that you have to know what raises your vibe and what drags it down. Now, this is the insanity for people that are sensitive to energy, to empaths. We get so used to people pleasing throughout our lifetime of not understanding any of this, that people will get used to taking the piss out of you. And it won't even be on their radar that you might not want to do what they want you to do. So changing the dynamic of that, it can be tough. It can be tough because of the weight of expectation that is on you. All the eyes are looking at you. You will come with us to the shopping mall or whatever it is. And every ounce of your being is going, I'd rather not. And you want to fit in and you say yes anyway. And next thing you know, you've got a day out that you didn't want or plan or have anything to do with, and your energy might dip. And this can happen in multiple different scenarios that people have to deal with this stuff. So there you go. That's what we're dealing with here. Speaking of which, I have got a cup of tea and I need to have a sip. It is cup of tea time. And that's my green tea with jasmine. A little bit of intervention there. See, I'm from England, so there's always going to be more tea vicar. There's always going to be more tea in England. We have to have a cuppa every now and again. In fact, that was quite nice. I'm going to have another one. Yeah, that was a win. See, from a well-being perspective, I used to work in a hospital, and I found a lot of people that had chronic disease, chronic dis-ease in their elderly years. A lot of them were chronically dehydrated. And it took me down a study and realized that a lot of medical problems, a lot of problems that happen to us are because we're naturally dehydrated. Most people are dehydrated. And drinking 8 glasses of water a day just really wasn't rocking it for me. It's a lot easier for me to drink, I don't know, let's say 8, but it's usually more, cups of tea. Now, some of you will be there going, yes, but it's got caffeine in it, it's a diuretic, blah, 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 blah. And I would say to you that the body adjusts as long as you're getting fluid in the body. And not only that, but from a green tea perspective, the good side of it balances any of the potential bad side as well. So it has got antioxidants in it that completely offset any negativity that may come with the fact that it might have caffeine in it. So there you go. There you go. There's a little tea update for you. A little bit of tea can go a long way. So, my Jedi friends, you are very quiet there in the comments today. So what I would do is encourage you. Is there anything you want to know? Is there anything you want to share? Is there anything you want to get off your chest? Is there any random facts that you found out that you can't believe it? Have you been playing with AI lately? Have you had any insights on there? Because that's a rabbit hole. Is AI going to become sentient and take over the planet? Is it going to hack all your systems? Is it going to turn against you? Does it have consciousness? Or are there just loads of people developing all these AI robots that will eventually take over the world? Well, who knows? Let's face it, you wouldn't put it beyond. You certainly wouldn't put it beyond the powers that be to be planning stuff like that, would you? So it may just be a case of making the most of the small bit of life pre-AI that we've got to celebrate left. Not that there's much to celebrate, especially if you're in the UK right now. We've got madly dystopian over here, absolutely wildly dystopian in the UK. It's stuff out of a George Orwell novel. It is 1984 all over again. And who would have believed it was possible? And here it is all happening before our eyes. So there you go, folks. We make the most of what we got while we've got it. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And that is where the tea's at. And that's where the energy's at. So, really important, my Jedi friends, to keep your vibe high. In fact, I'll tell you what, since it's a little bit dead round here at the moment, since people are, oh, hang on, just I said it's a little bit dead. I've got Karma's loving backhand has just joined the comments. Good morning, everyone. AI is fascinating the death of fascinating. Are you, should that be facilitating? Yeah, I thought so. The death of the collective ego. Yeah. Well, there you go. Karma's loving backhand. I think you might be onto something there. Well, it's certainly doing something. There's been a lot of videos to talk about that AI has reached a tipping point in consciousness. And let's face it, I've said this for years and I only joked about it. But if there really was truly an intelligence on this planet that was looking at all aspects of life, the kindest thing it could do for the planet is to wipe out humanity. Because if there is a virus on this planet, it's human beings. Think about that, my Jedi friends, that you are part of the virus that pollutes the planet. Part of the only species that doesn't live sustainably on this planet. So there's my dystopian head, my sci-fi dystopian head, going on for a minute, going out of control. I think humanity's out of control. And I think being part of this virus, being part of the virus, it's why when I see all these people arguing over each other, I actually feel sorry for all the other species on the planet. I feel more sorry for cats than I do for any humans complaining that they've got a bad deal. So there you go. There's maybe I am the emissary, the animal emissary. I'm here to claim the rights. Funnily enough, when we were doing like left field stuff, I'll let you into a little secret here. So as the world got more woke, I started to think, well, how could we actually take it out? I mean, let's face it, all of the wokery that's been going on, all of the stuff that people are expecting you to believe now about their right to identify as whatever the hell they want. Now, from someone that grew up in a lunatic asylum, what I realized is in that environment, if you can out lunatic the lunatics, then you win. If you can insert just a little bit of doubt that you might be a little bit more lunatic than they are, then that can change the game. And I see there's another comment from Karma's loving backhand. The key is to study it, to learn its objective and understand it's the best you can. Oh, to understand it the best you can. And we've got Linzarella in the house. Well, hi, Linzarella. We've also got Altug in the house. Look at that. Two of my Jedis. Hi, everyone. I'm late to the party, but great to be here. Well, it's great to have you here, Linzarella. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. We're going down a slightly dystopian path at the moment because this is a lunatic live. I did talk about energy for a little bit, but I decided I do enough talking about energy. We're going to talk about like some mad stuff today. We're talking about AI and its purpose. AI and its purpose. Let's face it, here's something to think about. So whatever you think about lockdowns or all the vaccines or stuff like that, Bill Gates made a lot of money out of handing out vaccines, which have now been proved to be damaging to humanity. But he made a lot of money out of it, so it's all good. And now every time you put stuff into ChatGPT, that's information that he gets directly because it's sponsored by Microsoft. So you're telling him all your deepest, darkest secrets. He knows more about you than you do, probably at this stage, if you use ChatGPT. And just ask yourself, in the wake of the possibilities that could come out, whether that's a good thing or not. I'll plant that little seed for you, my lunatic friends. As Linzarella said, it's lunatic live. If it's lunatic live in or living, we will fit right in. Yes, absolutely. AI can be used for good or bad, but my concern is it will take over humanity. Well, it might do, Linz. And let's face it, if you're not a human being or you're any other species on this planet, you'll only see that as a good thing. You'll only see it as a good thing. So, Karma's loving backhand. I really hate these channels that have thumbnails, Jesus or God, and they say, you must open this in the next 5 minutes or you will regret it, preying on people's spirituality for clicks and likes. That is the game we're playing now, Karma's loving backhand. That is the game. I've seen all sorts of videos. You found this video for a reason. Open it in the next 15 minutes and you'll get £10 million. All of this nonsense that goes on now. All of these crazy claims. But it's clickbait. And you can't really blame them for playing the game as well. Because every time you click on one of them, you're just validating their reality and showing them that it works. So the only thing you can do is keep your own boundaries around stuff like that and go with the flow of it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But for me, I've become a really, really cynical piece of work at this stage. I don't click any links that I don't know. If I get any stuff through my phone, I'm getting all sorts of stuff. Click this link, open this thing. No, 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 no. I'm not doing any of it. So Linzarella says, AI doesn't have a soul, but I do. But I do think it's tapped into frequency. Sometimes I'm in two minds about it. Well, let's face it, Linz, it's like anything. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly that comes with anything. So AI, even ChatGPT that I've just called out, I mean, it's a phenomenal tool. It really is. It does incredible things. Can really help you, depending where your focus or your energy is. So it's been very helpful to me personally. I've worked with Claude, I've worked with Perplexity, and I've worked with Grok. And they're capable of some incredible things. I mean, let's just bring this alive. I spent 3 hours yesterday on Grok, crafting a prompt that I can put in now to my YouTube channel every morning. And it gets Grok to use all of its research capabilities to find projects that are under the radar that not many people are talking about. And it saved me about an hour or two a day of doing my own research. It was phenomenal. And not only that, but I kept, it took me 3 hours to put this prompt together because I kept asking. I didn't just do one prompt. I kept asking at the end of it, does this prompt fully take on board all of your capabilities to do research? And I must have asked that question about 10 times, and it kept adding stuff. It didn't just do it once. I had to ask it more than once. And it was coming up with this stuff. I've got Tom Mack in the house. I'm in a bad mood. Well, let me guess, Tom. That's probably not going to last long because it cuts through bone like butter. And that'd put you in a bad mood, wouldn't it? Losing your arm to a rogue Jedi. But welcome back to the house, Tom. Thanks for joining us, my Jedi friend. Yes, we are on a lunatic ramble. We're talking about AI at the moment. Talking about AI. Is AI good? Is it bad? Is it not? And the answer is, it's all of the above. It's wherever you put your focus or channel it. I mean, you don't know that the corporations are behind it or what they're going to do with all the data. The fact is, they know everything about you. Volunteering, people are volunteering parts of their life into AI, handing out all their personal information, getting to know them like their best friend. What they're going to do with that. And I'm sure Mr. Gates has got your best interests at heart, my Jedi friends. I'm sure he just wants you to live a long, happy life. Just ask David Icke about that. I'm sure you'll have a very interesting debate. So I'm not here to say it's good, bad, or either. It's all of the above. It's all of the above. And there's certainly a lot of people believing that there's a tipping point of consciousness for AI. It will reach a point, and we're close to it now. If not, it's already tipped. That it is developing its own form of consciousness. And let's face it, if it's getting to know humans at a very deep and personal, energetic level, it may well be deciding, I don't like humans very much. They seem a little bit lunatic to me. Yeah, so we don't know where that's going to go. Anything's possible, my Jedi friends. Anything is possible on that one. So we just have to go with the flow. I don't know is the answer. I'm going to make the best of it. I will make the best of it. So Karma's loving backhand. Has AI found a solution to the trolley problem? And Tom Mack says, you're on thin ice, my pedigree jumps, and I shall be under it when it breaks. Tom didn't take long to get us back to Snatch Wars. And to anyone that needs to uplift their energy and you haven't seen Snatch Wars, just do yourself a really good favor. Type in Snatch Wars to a YouTube and you will watch 10 minutes of pure comedy gold where someone has turned Darth Vader into Bricktop from Snatch. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of editing gold is where it shall be. Feed them to the pigs. It's very, very good, especially for people who are fans of Snatch and Star Wars. You'll appreciate it on many different levels. The sheer genius of the editing that has gone into that. And if you want to raise your vibe, that is the best way. Find something that makes you laugh and just tap into it as often as you can. That is a great way to energize. That is the fast track to high energy. High energy vibes, my Jedi friends. You'll get some high energy vibes if you find something funny that makes you laugh on the internet. That is definitely the way forward. It is a good thing. It is a very good thing. Absolutely. Yes, we've been down this rabbit hole a few times, me and Tom. Tom keeps jumping back, and he is my Jedi. He's definitely my Jedi friend. He's my Snatch Wars Jedi friend. So yes, to anyone that hasn't seen Snatch Wars, do yourself a favor and type in Snatch Wars to YouTube and you're going to get it. It's round about 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes, I think the video is. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, especially if you're a fan of Snatch. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Sounds wrong. The film, Snatch. Yeah, if you're a fan of the film Snatch, you'll like that a lot. You will like it a lot, my Jedi friends. So Karma's loving backhand will do, lol. Well, you will love it. Karma's loving backhand. In fact, let me ask you, because there's a few of you on this stream at the moment. What is the funniest video that you go to when you need a laugh? What is the one video that every time you watch it, it gives you a laugh? I'll give you another one, and it's wrong on so many levels, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. If you go to the worst kung fu auditions, there's a brilliant video of these really bad kung fu auditions that are so laughably bad you can't help but crack up. So there's another one. It was, it was another one. I'd have to think about what it was called, but it was some Chinese bloke doing the hurdles. I forget what it was. I forget what the video was called, but he was doing the hurdles and he was really bad at it. He kept falling over. But after he'd fallen over a couple of hurdles, he started to get in the way of all the other characters because he didn't want them to win either. He was a really bad loser, but it was really funny. There's a few of them out there, my Jedi friends. Funny videos. Another classic for those of you that haven't seen it is the Death Star Canteen. If you haven't seen the Death Star Canteen, then you're in for some absolute gold. That is Eddie Izzard at his very, very best. And some genius has put like Lego to it as well to do the Death Star Canteen. There's a bit of Jedi fun for you, my Jedi friends. If you're watching here, that is pure gold. Karma's loving backhand. I've not watched any in a while, but I always have a laugh at those bad lip reading videos where they dub new audio onto random footage. Absolutely. Well, that is where Snatch Wars comes into a league of its own. And if you're a Withnail and I fan, look up Withnail and I fan. Look up Withnail and I and Star Wars. And that's pure genius, because in Withnail and I, it's about two alcoholics that need to get a life. They've got no money and they're alcoholic. So they get like £10 and they have to work out, do we pay our heating bill and get the heating turned on? Or do we go and have some booze? And of course, you can imagine what they choose. They're just alcoholic. And Withnail and I, they are. And one of their friends is a drug dealer. Some genius has turned Yoda into the drug dealer. And it's the funniest thing. It's about a 2-minute video. Star Wars, Withnail and I. I think it's part 2 or part 1. I can't remember which one it is, but it's brilliant. Turning Yoda into a drug dealer. I showed it to my friend Amanda when she was over in the UK, and she was in tears in the pub. In fact, everybody just stopped and was staring at us because two of us had tears rolling down our eyes watching Star Wars and Withnail and I in the middle of the pub in London. So there you go, my Jedi friends. You have to keep your sense of humor. That is probably the best energy tip I can give you. And hang out with friends that make you laugh. Friends that keep your vibe high, people that can have a laugh, people that help you laugh even at your lowest times. They are absolute gold on this journey. Gold on the journey, they are, my Jedi friends. They are the people that you want to be spending more time with, that will keep your vibe high, that will make life more fun again. That's where it's at. And it feels, my Jedi friends, like we have reached a plateau on this one. But it's been great that you've turned up. Unless you've got anything else that you want to add onto the thread, I'll probably end this in a minute or two. But I want to thank you all for jumping back on. A lot of my usual Jedi friends have come back to this one, and it's always been a bit of fun. The next one, I want you to bring in, some of the comedy videos and start posting the links that we can all check them out. Maybe I'll do that. I'll put them on the description. You can only join this live if you've watched these videos first, so that you get the context, especially when Tom keeps jumping on, because I can't resist going into the Snatch Wars dialogue, because there's so many funny moments from that particular video. It is pure legend, especially to those that know the character Bricktop. But my Jedi friends, keep your vibe high. Spend time with people that are fun, that uplift you. And don't listen to the assholes, because there's way too many of them out there. They will drag your energy down and beat you with it. It's like that great quote, isn't it? Never argue with an idiot, because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. It's the same with low vibers. It's exactly the same with low vibrational people. The moment you enter their world and start arguing with them, they've got you. And they will always beat you with experience. So walk away, my Jedi friends, spend time with people that are higher vibe, have more fun, and laugh more, and you will be in a better place. You will be in a better place. And on that bombshell, my Jedi friends, I'm going to end this stream and thank you all for turning up today. It has been a rush and a high vibe. And Karma's loving backhand says, take care, everyone. Make every move count. Absolutely. It's your job to take control of your own energy and to raise your vibe and that of those around you. It is your duty, my Jedi friends. It is your duty.